There are many different ways in which people begin their journey of watching anime. Many had their first glimpse into the world of anime when certain shows like Dragon Ball or Naruto were first airing on their local TV stations. Others may have stumbled across it through websites like YouTube after seeing some cool and awesome scenes which tingled their senses of curiosity. Or if you were like me, you probably got into anime because your friends were talking about it and recommended it to you to watch some of their favorites. So this is the beginning of your journey into the vast world of anime. I'm Animovu and I'm about to tell you the stages of the journey of anime viewers. So leave a like, comment and subscribe and enjoy the video. So, for people like me who didn't grow up with anime being part of their childhood, but instead only got into anime in their early teens or later in life, they probably saw this thing called anime as some weird and wacky Japanese cartoons that only weird people watch, with its unique animation style that felt out of place with other cartoons that they were used to. For most of the newer generation who are starting to watch anime right now, especially during COVID, where the last 2 years there was a spike of new anime viewers, shows like Avatar were kind of like their first taste into the world of anime. People were hesitant to explore further because the people around them didn't watch it, so they never even had a reason to watch anime in the first place. But the moment they began watching anime is when they found other people who actually watched it and recommended it to them. So they would be able to talk with them and discuss on what shows to watch and what shows which are actually interesting and should be explored. I still remember the day when I got recommended to watch my first anime. I was on a school bus with my classmates and two of my friends who were in the back seat were talking about Dragon Ball. And of course, I've heard about it, but I never really explored it or understood what it was about. And this video was probably what was playing in their mind when I asked them about what anime is about.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
So I asked my friends about what it is and thus began my step into the world of anime. From this point onwards, most of us would be in awe of how wrong we were about anime. Sure, it still seemed weird and wacky at times, but we also had the feeling of amazement and wonder in this new type of medium filled with different genres and stories yet to be explored. This is when viewers would go onto websites to search for the top 10 anime to watch, and we would just watch any show that seemed interesting. It didn't even matter if it was good or if it had any concrete story or any interesting plot about it. As long as the feeling of curiosity was being fueled, it was enough to keep them going. You begin to explore different types of genres and get used to the different tropes that were being used in the shows. This is also the phase where once you complete a show, you will feel a certain void and emptiness and you wish the show had never ended. Because when a show ends, it was like saying goodbye to a friend and never seeing them again, because you know that the chances of being able to interact with it again in the same way will never happen again. This is also the phase where there will come a point where the amount of shows you want to watch will exceed the time you have, and thus you go on to make a list where you hope you would eventually go back to and watch the shows you wrote down, but this of course will never happen, and the list will keep on growing and growing to the point where you wonder if it's even worth it anymore. So the next phase is when you start to research on anime studios and the voice actors and you begin to understand the animation of the season system, and you begin to savor and also begin to branch out and head into manga and light novel sections where anime are mostly adapted from, and for the average viewer, they would usually stay with watching anime, but for others who want to explore, they would first start reading the manga of upcoming anime. This will most likely get them to realize and think, why should they wait week by week when they could just consume the manga and light novels and keep up to date with the current events in the story without wasting any time? This is a crucial stage where anime viewers would either quit watching anime and fully start reading manga, or continue to watch anime and only read manga and light novels when there are bad anime counterparts or no anime at all. This, of course, also happens when the show has only one season and ends on a cliffhanger, and forces the anime viewers to actually read or find other source materials where they can continue the story and actually finish it. So it will continue to be this way until you reach this stage where you begin to feel like you've seen all that anime has in store and that nothing new will be available ever again. The rate at which you consume anime slows down drastically, and it's hard to even finish a 13 episode season within a week, when before you would finish at least 2 seasons within one day. You would also start to notice that many shows are very similar to others, and they are basically reskinned version of older shows which you've seen before. The reskinned shows would usually have certain gimmicks to make you think that it's unique, when in fact, it doesn't change anything in the story at all. Sure, maybe they have top tier animations or top tier OSTs, but at the end of the day, it creates your love for anime once again, with its unique story and characters that just feels like a breath of fresh air. These are the shows which are called the gems of the season, that makes you look forward to watching anime again and again as new seasons continue to release more, and you hope that there are new and original concepts and storytelling ideas that have never been done in previous seasons. Most anime watchers will take a long time to reach this phase, or maybe some will never even reach this phase at all. But if you do manage to reach this phase, then congratulations, because this is the best and only right phase to be in.